So in this video we are going to discuss about the topic heat and temperature. So already we have started this topic before summer vacation. What is heat? Heat is a form of energy. It makes substance hotter, and it results due to the movement of the tiny particles called atom, molecules or ion in solid, liquid and gases. Whereas temperature is a physical quantity. It is the measurement of the degree of hotness or coldness. We can say if object is hot, we say temperature is high. If object is cold, we say temperature is cold. Some activities are given here. So we have to take the 3 glasses, in which one glass we will put some cold water, in the second we will put lukewarm water, in the third we will put the hot water, and then we will put a drop of food color. That is the food color, that is green color. So what will you observe? You will observe that in the third case, that is in the hot water, the food color spread very fastly. Why? Because in hot water the molecules move very faster. So in the cold water the molecules will spread very slowly, and in the lukewarm water or in the moderate water the molecule will move faster than the cold water but slower than the hot water. So why this happens? This happens due to the difference in the temperature. So heat plays a vital role in spreading of molecules. So heat plays an important role, and it makes the molecules to move faster in hot water. And in winter, we feel cold and see strife. So we gain the heat by having the hot cup of tea or soup, or by sitting near the fire. Whereas in the summer season, when the sun is burning outside, we try to lose heat by having the chill drink or keeping ourselves hydrated. Also, hydrated means always try to drink the water and the liquid, so that there should not be the water loss. Now, how we say that which object is hotter or which object is colder? So, generally we use thermometer to measure the temperature of object. And when we mix two things at different temperature, there is an exchange of heat. So one by one you will study these topics. So first of all, come to the concept of heat. What is heat? We come across various objects in our life, which may be hot or which may be cold. So how we decide which object is hot or which object is cold? So most of the time we do not carry an instrument with to check the hotness or coldness. So by simply we say sense of touch. So our hand helps, our skin helps in the sense of touch. So this sense of touch can say this object is hot or this object is cold. But the sense of touch is relative. That means every time the sense of touch will not give the same conclusion that this object is hot or this object is cold. So an activity is given here. So take a piece of wood and a piece of metal, and then touch with your hand at room temperature. So if we touch this piece of metal and the piece of wood, and then rub the piece of ice on them, and after that you will touch, you will able to see that the metal piece will feel faster, will feel colder than the piece of wood. Why? Because sense of touch is relative. So piece of metal will feel cooler than the piece of wood. Same ice was rubbed on both, but wood is a bad conductor, that's why it does not absorb the heat, whereas the piece of metal, that is metal is a good conductor, so it very quickly spread the coldness. So that's why, so same conclusion, we cannot say that sense of touch is relative. So in place of that we need a device which is known as thermometer. So the degree of hotness or coldness is known as thermometer. And out of the two objects, which has the higher temperature is hot, and the other with the lower is called as hot. So temperature of an object is measured by using a thermometer. So let us proceed. How do we measure the temperature? Temperature is the degree of hotness or coldness of a body. So how we do check the exact hotness or a coldness of a body? We can say it is hot or cold by the sense of touch. But that has been discussed earlier that it is not a reliable method. So we should use a device called thermometer, which measure the exact temperature of a body. Types of thermometer. There are basically 3 main types of thermometer: mercury thermometer, alcohol thermometer, and digital thermometer. The property of mercury that it remains liquid at room at temperature helps to use as a mercury thermometer. Mercury thermometer works on the expansion of heat. Why? Because mercury is a liquid and it is not sticky to touch also. And mercury expand uniformly at for a wide range of temperature. It is also easy to see the mercury due to its silver gray color. And mercury has the highest has the large range of temperature, that is from minus 13, it can freeze up to minus 39 degrees Celsius and boiled up to 357 degrees Celsius. Alcohol temperature thermometer. Since mercury is poisonous and it is toxic in nature and it is also very expensive, and it also cannot measure the temperature below minus 39 degrees Celsius. That's why alcohol thermometer is used. So alcohol thermometer are also used, and as it is not as toxic as mercury and it is cheaper also, and we can use to measure the lower temperature also, alcohol thermometer. That means alcohol thermometer can measure below minus 39 degrees Celsius. So these two thermometer contain the liquid, that is the mercury and the alcohol. So mercury thermometer are of two types, clinical and laboratory thermometer. Now nowadays we have the digital thermometer. Digital thermometer, since the mercury is poisonous, alcohol also cannot measure the below the lowest temperature. So in the place of the digital clinical thermometer, nowadays we have the digital thermometer. So digital thermometer have thermistor. Thermistor is a type of cell, or it is known as electrical resistor, and the passage of current through it depends on the temperature that is being read. So digital thermometer gives the accurate, it is very safe, even children can use because there is no mercury. And another device nowadays we are using, that is known as scanner thermometer. Scanner thermometer is used on the forehead to measure the human body temperature. Scale of a thermometer. So in a thermometer, Celsius degree is called as the standard measurement, but scale, just like scale used to measure the length and marking as centimeter, millimeter, and inches, similarly a thermometer can have different scales of thermometer, that is the Celsius scale, degree Celsius, Fahrenheit, degree Fahrenheit, and Kelvin scale as Kelvin. So all the three scales have lower fixed point and the upper fixed point. Lower fixed point means the melting point where the liquid freezes is called the lower fixed point, and the temperature at which the water boils is called the upper fixed point. So the measure of the lower fixed point and the upper fixed point are point on the three scale respectively are 0 degree on the Celsius scale, the lower fixed point, that means where the water freezes on the Celsius scale, and the upper fixed point 100 degrees Celsius on the Celsius scale, 32 degree Fahrenheit on the Fahrenheit scale, 212 degree Fahrenheit on the Fahrenheit scale, the upper fixed point. The lower fixed point on the Kelvin, 273 K on the Kelvin, and the upper fixed point 373 K on the Kelvin scale. Now here see the relative readings on Celsius, Fahrenheit, and the Kelvin scale. So come to this figure. The middle one is the Celsius scale, and the water freezes, the lower fixed point is 0 degree Celsius and the upper is 100 degrees Celsius. So in between these two scale, since in a scale there is a division, in the scale we have the reading, and it takes place generally from 0 degree, that is the lower fixed point, and the water boils at 100 degree, that is the upper fixed point. So there are 100 division in between these Celsius scale. Now the first one is, that is the Fahrenheit, 0F. So water freezes at 32 degree Fahrenheit and water boils at 212 degree Fahrenheit. So division is in between them is the 180 division. Now in the Kelvin, the water freezes as 273.15 K and 373.15 K the water boils. So division will between them is 100 division. That is about the water upper fixed point and the lower. Absolute zero. So Lord Kelvin discovered the Kelvin scale, and it does not show in the form of degree, it shows just only the K. So 0K is called as the absolute zero. And compared to the absolute zero, in the Celsius minus 273.15 degrees Celsius, and in Fahrenheit minus 459.67 degree Fahrenheit. So 0 degree is called as the absolute zero. Absolute zero is the lowest temperature where no cooling takes place. So it is the lowest, it is considered as the lowest temperature. That is the 0 degree K. So that is the relative reading on Celsius, Fahrenheit, and Kelvin scale. That's all for today. So I think you have understood about this topic, and write the notes and also listen the video carefully. That's all.